Hi, everybody. Welcome to Singularity Roleplay. Tonight, we're going to be playing Autumn, a game run on the system Locus. And I'm going to start by introducing our players, and I like to do a free for all where someone goes first.
Well, I'm Sean, otherwise known as Rise on several places on the internet, and as Raven Black Photography. Tonight I am playing Simon Islington, a little British librarian kind of guy with absolutely nothing to hide.
Hi, y'all. I guess I'll take over from there. I've got 18 names. You'll hear me give a different one every time. One of them is on CISA. I use 3 different sets of pronouns. You'll hear a different one every time. One of them is fae, femme, fear, fierce, femme, self. You can find me, all of my social medias, because they all have different names, at my Linktree, linktr.ee/queer mythopoeia, QUEERMYTHOPOEIA. And tonight I will be playing Moss. Just Moss. A perfectly healthy individual who is homeful rather than homeless, generally speaking, and totally not responsible for a recent death.
Absolutely not.
Definitely not. No, that wasn't me.
And that leaves me. I am Sin, Synthetic 20 on all the social media that matters. And tonight I am playing Brother Jody, an awful preacher man who must die at some point. And I think that's all you need to know. Back to Janie.
Hi, I'm Janie, and I am running this world, I guess, or it's running me. So I forgot what else I was going to say. So I'm going to one of my lovely, lovely players of these wonderful characters sum up last session. You all don't go at the same time.
I'm thinking.
Sorry,
What
I
happened?
legitimately did not process the question.
Just summarize. One of you needs to summarize the session.
So, last session, this group of fairly random, mostly strangers, kind of not strangers, there's a few connections here and there, ended up on a bus from the university where some of them are connected, work at, etc., on the way to this conference. Along the way, the bus broke down, and after a few somewhat tense conversations and interactions, we did end up making our way to a small, kind of picturesque little town that is nevertheless a little bit odd. Few things happened there, some interactions with the locals and such. One of the, I guess, students along with us had a bit of an accident that was absolutely not Moss's fault.
I did nothing. I did. They got into my stash on their own will, okay?
Brother Jody also did nothing.
No, absolutely not. And
When given the opportunity to assist, Brother Jody decided that he would leave it up to God.
In addition to not doing anything to cause this woman's death, Moss also totally did not run around town trying to get her help. Moss completely just accepted that it was her responsibility and didn't freak out one bit.
Simon attempted to help, but I don't think particularly successfully, so. And I think that pretty much brings us up to speed. Did I leave anything out of importance?
Just how lovely and wonderful all of your characters have been.
Oh yes, they're saints.
You have used the words lovely and wonderful, and I don't think that those are correct descriptors of my character.
Oh, they're perfect descriptors of your character. Absolutely perfect.
Moss is blameless, a complete saint who has never done a single bad thing in their life.
Absolutely not.
So speaking of Moss, what is Moss doing right now?
So, if I recall correctly, we left off with everyone standing over the body, the freshly dead body, as what's her name finally finishes with her overdose by dying. And I think the biggest thing is if anybody's paying attention to Moss, you can almost like see a light switch flip as you watch essentially Moss's ego just immediately die. And Face goes from the freaked out running around town to just a sort of blank, almost serene expression on her face. On Bo's face. Told her not to go in there.
Simon, I think for his part, is in a bit of shock at the moment. And once he realizes that he can't help her, he kind of sits back, almost falling back onto his hands, scoots back a little bit away, and he's just kind of staring, just this kind of unbelieving look on his face. Like he's not sure what he's looking at now, what just happened, and what the consequences are going to be.
Brother Jody is sitting close by and says, "You know, before you got here, child was already gone.
There had been. Does this town not have any competent medical professionals? Should not have happened. How?
When you think that things ought not to happen, only proves how much they need to."
Damn me, your cultist religious claptrap.
Can't believe I agree with the preacher man.
Did she have
I
any
love, out of character, the odyssey for Moss, where Moss is like, why do I agree with this awful person?
It's Moss's favorite thing, which is why Moss just turns around after saying that and just leaves the room.
Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out. I think a check needs to happen for Jody.
Hmm.
A check, because, well, you didn't know, but you said your character did say something when he mentioned that she was already gone.
Yeah, what kind of check should I make?
Malice?
Which one?
I might be getting this wrong. Sorry. Okay, let me get this card again. I did not just click away from it. That was somebody else that did that. I think it was the little gremlin that lives here. Wait, it's not there. I lost it. So I'm so unorganized.
Now malice is one of the vices.
Yeah, I was looking at something else, and then where did I put this? Darn it. I am just an unorganized mess right now. And I have everybody on pause while I try to figure out what we need to do. Just how I like it. No, I mean, did I say that out loud?
You know, Janie, I knowing my life and personality, I cannot complain about you keeping everyone on edge.
Also, were you thinking an ignorance check?
Oh yeah, do that. That's fine.
Okay.
I had lost right now. I'm always lost.
And what difficulty?
Medium.
Yeah. Instant fail. Brother Jody has no idea, like medically, if what he said was correct.
Okay. He is going to remember that she showed up just kind of showed up at the school without any kind of family or anything. Um, there was no, basically, she might not, I'm not making any sense here. It didn't quite make sense of her coming to the school. Like, she might not have been, she might have already been a ghost. She might have been, or she could have just been somebody without any paperwork or documentation. Or she could have just lied to everyone. But it seems like, thinking about it, if that makes any sense. Did I just like give you all word salad there?
I think overall at this point, Brother Jody is not concerned.
Okay.
Like, someone has died, or someone did die and was dead. Either way.
Okay.
We need to contact the authorities. There has to be a sheriff or something in this town, yes?
Yes, indeed.
All right. You know this town, right, Jody?
I've been here as necessary.
Can you have one of the locals call the police, please?
I am making an assumption on this, but is Autumn large enough that it would have a standing police officer, or would it be a county sheriff that you'd be talking about?
It has one police officer that's also a firefighter. And what else does he do? Police officer, firefighter, and
Probably the barber.
yeah.
I wouldn't let a police officer anywhere near my beard.
Do you have any name in mind?
Yeah, I do actually. Just call him Gordy for now. I'll give you a whole name in a moment.
I'll make sure that they get word to Gordy.
Right. I suppose I should contact the school. If you'll give me a moment. And he's going to kind of
Of course.
stand up and make his way out the door and try to call, with his cell phone, see if he can't call the university.
Yeah. There's a signal. It rings for a long time. It just keeps ringing, but there's definitely a signal.
Why is no one picking up in the office? Nonsense. Eventually he gets tired and hangs up and kind of stands outside for a minute trying to catch his breath. And
So when you do that, the mechanic is approaching.
I'm just ignoring him for right now, unless he says something.
I fixed your bus.
Thank you. That is appreciated.
You all can pack up now.
Yes, well, hopefully we will be out of your hair as soon as possible.
Yep, it's all gassed up too.
Thank you. We will be by as soon as possible to pick it up.
Okay. Oh, we got a visiting sheriff coming in from out of town if you want to meet them.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. I'm going to go check on the festival. And he just walks away after letting you know that police are coming and that your vehicle's ready.
Calm. Calm. Do this. All right. Head back inside. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember if the other students were around or not.
They're not now.
I feel like, unfortunately, I'll have to break this news to the students. I can't seem to get in touch with the university for some godforsaken reason. No one is picking up.
Did
Where
you
the hell
say
did
you
Mom
went?
go?
Oh, sorry. Did you say that you went back into the room?
Yes.
As you stepped in the room, you would have heard Brother Jody speaking in a language that you are probably not familiar with.
What are you doing? What?
Just tending to the necessary.
Oh, it didn't sound like Latin to me.
Oh,
I suppose if it makes you feel better, then do whatever. I need to worry about the other students at the moment.
Well, I suppose that you'll be wanting to get a head count.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Especially if the bus is fixed.
As a matter of fact, I did speak with the mechanic briefly. He said that the bus was fixed. How could you possibly know that?
Jody walks over and taps his cane against the walls, and you hear the sound reverberate around the room.
Of course, thin walls. Yes, it appears that our bus is fixed. Though as for what happens next, frankly, I'm not 100% certain. This is not a situation that I have ever been in before.
Well, you're here now.
Quite astute. Have we heard from the authorities?
No, not yet.
What are they expecting? What happened to Moss? Didn't this girl was practically clinging to Moss all the time?
Haven't seen hide nor hair, Moss.
Regardless, I will leave you to. Someone needs to watch the body. This is not a fit place for her to stay.
I will make sure that things get attended to.
It's like I have little choice in the matter. Thank you. And
You're welcome.
Simon is basically going to turn and start seeing if he can't round up the students and make sure how many that we have all accounted for and such.
While you're doing that, Moss, can you do a stress check, please? I'm assuming you're stressed. That
You're also muted.
You know Moss is stressed out because Moss is perfectly calm. That's how that works. Remind me how a stress check works?
okay.
I roll a thing.
So
Yeah.
so it is an outcome check with medium difficulty, unless Janie wants to set it at a different difficulty.
No, I'll be nice.
Uh-oh. I'm scared now. Alright, so I roll 3 dice. Medium means I take the middle, which is a 5. To what am I comparing that again?
You are.
I
So your stress level. Where is it?
We start out at uneasy, right? We don't start out at like nothing. We start out at uneasy, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think
Apologies to our audience. I have had
Yeah.
a lot happening in my life, and the rules have fallen out of my head. What was that, Janie?
no, I said I apologize too. I believe that it stays does it stay uneasy? because that was a wait. It's a 5.
So you have to pick an attribute, depending on it's basically situational. So whatever attribute you think would be good for this stress check, like in this particular instance,
Cowardice, maybe?
cowardice might be a good one. Cowardice, maybe temper. I mean, to me that kind of depends on Moss. I mean, I don't particularly see Moss as an intemperate person, but I mean, I would think what their reaction to the situation would kind of determine which attribute you would want to roll against.
Yeah, I think it would be either cowardice or temper. And actually, I'm leaning towards cowardice.
I was going to
Uh,
agree.
So if it's higher, it beats, right?
Correct.
So then I beat it. So I'm
Okay.
guessing that means I stay at uneasy.
Correct.
Thank you. Again, I apologize to our audience.
And just as a reminder, it was a medium check.
Yeah.
So you're checking against the middle die.
Yep, 1, 5, and 6.
Awesome.
I know, right? Not a bad roll.
Yeah, I should have made it harder for you.
Words you do not want to hear in a horror game.
Okay, so this was the students. You're doing a student roundup. You are able to find about see 1, 2. You're able to find 5 students, not including your deceased student. So you're missing half of them.
Yeah.
And you're also not able to find the other 2 teachers that came with you.
Or at this point, Moss. You also cannot find Moss.
Our ring pops for me.
It is difficult to leave on a bus if you can't find the bus driver.
Right. Where the devil is everyone? So once Simon finds anybody, he's basically going to kind of tell them that there has been an unexpected problem. He will let everybody know further what is going on as soon as he can find out. But for now, everybody just needs to kind of stay in their rooms and hang out here, so that so everybody can be accounted for eventually. And then, gosh, maybe they went to that carnival or whatever. I'll go look there. And he'll make his way back downstairs. Seems most of the children and everything, and even the other teachers are not in the building. I think perhaps they might have gone to this carnival. I'm going to go look and see if I can find them over there. And he just kind of keeps on going.
So one thing you notice is the giant bonfire at the carnival. Huge. You could smell the wood smoke. You could see the flames.
He does stop
Oh,
once that kind of comes into view before he gets like too close. And he just kind of stops for a minute. And
people are throwing wood onto the fire, just because it looks fun.
It's very pretty. And he's gonna try to keep his head down so he's not really watching this bonfire and these people, and as kind of looking around, see if he can't find the rest of the students and stuff.
Okay. So you find one student.
Where is everybody else?
There's a party.
A party.
Not
Really?
party.
I need you to go back to the hotel and stay there for a while. Something has happened, and I need everyone to be accounted for and in one place, please.
Well, we were all going to that party over there.
Well, suppose I shall go over there and see about rounding everyone up, but please just head back to the hotel.
Whatever. And then the student just kind of heads off to the hotel. He was pointing towards the church where the party is, because why not have a party at a church?
Church, of course. What better place? He'll slowly trudge his way in that direction.
So the old church, there is a party going on. There's another little bonfire outside of it, and there's some kids inside, or some not kids. There's people inside of the church, and there's also people outside of the church. The people outside of the church are rowdy. The people inside of the church are a different kind of rowdy.
Okay. Poke around a little outside and see if there's any of his students or anything that he can send back to the hotel there. And then
There is exactly one student at that party that will go back to the hotel. So you're still missing 4 students.
all right. Suppose we'll see if there's anybody in here. And he will kind of hesitatingly make his way into the church.
Inside of the church, people sit on both sides of the aisles, and there is someone at the front speaking nonsense words. People in the aisles are clapping. There are 2 students in the aisles, the pews. There is Sheila and one other student in the pews, just kind of enjoying the whatever weirdness.
I have no idea what's going on here, but he'll kind of try to quietly make his way up and try to get, tap Sheila on the shoulder, try to get her attention. I'm sorry to interrupt, but something has come up and I need you all to come back to the hotel.
They said you would come. Welcome.
I'm sorry?
Welcome to our service.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that, but really, I do need you to come back with me. Something has happened, and
We'll come back with you. Let's all form a circle around you. A welcoming circle.
no, that's really not necessary.
But you're one of us.
I don't know what that means, but
That means you're welcome in this town.
again, you're not even from this town.
I'm not.
No. No, what
Who
are you
told you that?
speaking about?
I was born here.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a very strange coincidence that we'd be stranded here then.
Yeah, I was born here. My daddy was the preacher here before he went big time.
Oh, well, good for
This is
him,
our.
I suppose. Um,
I belong to this church.
oh, well, that's lovely. But we really do need to go. Because you may be from here, but at the moment I am responsible for you and the rest of the students.
So you want us to leave the safe church to go somewhere else?
Don't know anything about the safety of this church, but I need to make I need to have everyone in one place.
Is that even possible?
Why would it not be possible? Just go to the hotel. It's not that difficult.
I will after the service.
Please do so with all alacrity, Miss Sheila.
I don't know what that word means, but I'm staying here.
And he just walks back out. Just
Is
at
he
this
stressed
point,
at all?
he ends up stopping in front of the bonfire and just standing there for a little bit, just kind of staring.
It's a little difficult with all these fires everywhere, isn't it?
A little bit.
And all the stress building.
Yeah.
And, the buildings are nice and wooden and old.
Mm-hmm.
Mom, is this the outfit?
um, I knew what I was going to have you do, and I. Okay. Okay. This is Will. I think this would be. This is extreme stress on you. I believe. Do you agree?
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
And let me pull up your card again. I was just looking at it. Wait, that's not your card. So this would be you think it would be impatience or temper?
I think either one of those could apply. My first thought was impatience.
Okay. I would like you to um I don't want to say roll impatience or impatience
Yeah.
check.
Difficulty?
Hard.
That's what I figured. Oh yeah, no, that is a big. Oh, actually, that's close. It's still a failure, but it was actually pretty close.
So,
I got 1 point higher. So I'm assuming that's a level of stress.
yes. Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. We leave you there nice and stressed. Moss, what are you up to? You've been too quiet.
Moss left after saying that the girl had been told not to get into the stash. Went directly to Beau's hotel room, grabbed said stash, and stomped out. Seemingly driven, seemingly with a goal in mind. As B sort of walks through the town, that purpose seems to fray because it didn't really exist. Until finally B sort of catches sight of the bonfire in the church that it's lighting up. And shrugs. And remembering numerous times when a church has offered shelter or food for the low, low price of trying to control your brain, Moss walks over to the church, skulks around away from either the door or the bonfire to where the church's garbage bins are kept, and kind of sets himself up amongst those garbage bins. Opens up the duffel bag that's holding the stash and starts pulling out various bits of paraphernalia and drugs. And decides to start with the salvia, which has a reputation, for those who have not done it, I have not done it, but it has a reputation for dragging you through hell. And it's a very, very quick high. It's like a trip of 5 minutes that lasts for years. And it has a reputation of being a bad trip. And so B is taking hits of the salvia regularly, ensconced amongst the garbage cans, slowly trying to kill any sense that B has of feeling emotions in reaction to what just happened.
Moss, you see Maddie sitting beside you.
Comes out of the trip kind of blinking a bit. Who are you then?
Maddie?
I'm sorry, Jenny, could you repeat that? I'm also going to turn your volume up.
Maddie? I'm
Maddie?
Maddie.
You want some, Maddie? And holds out the salvia.
Yeah, it's been a really odd day.
So make it odder. I got stuff that'll calm you down, though.
What are you doing by a church? This is a weird place to be.
Know how many times I've gotten high behind a church?
It's not safe here.
It's time to put everything away.
Where is safe? Not safe anywhere. Not when you're like me.
You can get on a bus and leave.
Suppose so. Not really going to change much but the scenery.
You want to stay here?
Are you one of the students I was driving?
Then he's gone.
Like, do I see them walk away, or is it like a...
Oh.
Yep. Yep, that's good. Takes another big hit off of the salvia and disappears from the world for about 5 minutes. Probably this time comes out with a couple of tears coming down the face. Looks over at the bonfire. No one gets out alive. Might be time. Puts everything back. Pulls himself up out of the garbage and just starts walking towards the bonfire.
Hey, Jody, what are you doing right now?
Jody has finished saying the prayer over the body and has notified the correct people of what has happened and is now sitting out on the porch, like able to see the bonfire from where he sits.
Okay. So he is going to see. He's going to see Sheila walking away from the bonfire. Sheila, who was in the church. But you don't know that.
Do what?
It said Sheila, who was in the church, but you don't know that.
Yeah. Jody will stand up and call, Sister Sheila.
Yes, Brother Jody.
Shouldn't you be in service?
Service is happening. We were told to come to the hotel.
Very well.
They're waiting for you inside.
Just need to get my sea legs. And he'll start walking in that direction.
Towards the church.
Yeah.
Okay. No, she is inside of the church too. But it's
Fine.
it's fine. It's all fine.
To quote an Alanism, don't worry about it.
So Moss is at the bonfire or walking towards the bonfire.
Yep.
Jody.
Is there any booze on the way to the bonfire?
Yes. They're just like there's barrels of it and people are just passing out alcoholic cider, and there's college students there's a lot more college students than you remember. Yeah.
We'll grab flasks from the college students preferentially, and cider from the townspeople if not.
Yeah.
And it's the long draft of like finish off the flask in one go, throw it to the ground, walk away. At one point stops looking at the fire and whispers, "Oh, Maddie." Shakes. And just
Yeah.
walks around. That's interesting.
You called my name.
Moss will step into Maddie's personal bubble, like romance movie close, and will say, "What do you want from me?"
I just wanted to see how you were doing.
Now, what do you want from me?
Are you going to stay here in the town or are you leaving?
Whatever it is, you can have it. What do you want from me?
I want you to stay here.
Usually people want, like, sex,
Well, I mean,
drugs, something like that.
we can, but I really want you to stay here.
Whatever, sure. Yeah, okay. And just turn around, like, turn my back on the dead girl and look for somebody who might be, like, giving me some sort of eye, like they actually do want something from me.
You don't see anybody that wants anything from you, but you do see two of the missing students fighting with each other.
Do I know what they're fighting about?
It looks like a lover's quarrel.
If no one wants anything from me, at least I'll get some entertainment. And walks over to watch these two lovers going at it.
Oh,
Just like too close to the fight. Again, drinking, like reaching back, not even looking, and grabbing people's flasks. Just watching. I imagine a circle of people around the fight, and Moss like between the circle and the fight, like standing out into the circle. Clearly just standing there entertained.
apparently there's some kind of cheating drama, and it's still very soap opera. Like they're really yelling at each other, and um,
Oh, this is boring. I'm like turning my head to talk to people who probably don't even care. They're not even stealing our money.
oh my gosh. Um, but yeah, they are really mad at each other about this. Are you going to tell them to go to the building, or?
No, I'm literally just entertained. It's boring, but like it's until somebody wants something from me, this is entertainment. Um, but oh, says she cares about the other one's career, huh? That's not true. Do either of them look familiar?
Yeah, they were. I mean, other than being on the bus,
Well, specifically, I'm asking if one of them looks like my ex.
the yeah, one of them does kind of.
It finally hits me. Uh, Stanza?
What do you want? I'm in the middle of something.
Like the word "you" starts to form on the lips and then dies. This fight isn't even interesting. Not like we used to have.
Oh, but he is interesting.
Him?
Yeah.
What do you see in him?
I want to switch because I'm evil. I am switching this over to Simon. You're still outside of the church, correct? And you see, what was her name? Alexis. You see her carrying some wood to the bonfire again. Sorry.
Alexis. Yeah. Sorry. There has been an accident. I need you to make your way back to the hotel, please. I'm trying to get everyone together so we can figure out what to do next and then get out of here as soon as possible. Something tragic has occurred.
Well, what's happened? I was just helping the town out with this.
Understandable. There's been an accident with one of the others, and we need to speak of it all together.
Okay, well, can I go after I drop off this load of wood to keep the fire going?
Certainly, yes. Just
Can you?
make your way back there, please.
Are you doing help?
Sh- So, yes, I will. I'll help you.
She just from out of nowhere pulls out this big pile of wood logs and hands them to you.
I didn't realize you were carrying so much. That's honestly fairly impressive. And he's not really at this point because he's been kind of his attention was kind of broken away. He's not really looking at the bonfire so much as he's just kind of keeping his head down, mostly looking at the logs in his arms. As he just kind of makes his way over towards wherever they need to drop this stuff at.
Okay, I'm going to say it's the big bonfire because I'm trying to kind of get everyone, except for, well, Jody's going to the church. So you might bump into Jody.
Unless it is like physically bumping into him, I probably am not even going to notice him. Because I'm literally kind of doing this.
Brother Jody, what happened?
Hmm?
It's Alexis. What happened?
Sorry, what was that?
What happened? Why do we have to go back? The tragedy?
Ah, an unfortunate murder.
A murder?
Wait. That is not the word. Brother Jody, that's no.
The devil came in the night and took one of the flock.
It was an accident. No one was murdered.
Who died?
It was Beth. I believe she ingested something that perhaps she should not have, or too much of something, rather. Unfortunately, there was nothing that we could do for her. The authorities have been contacted, and we will be figuring out our next steps as soon as possible.
Is that why you wanted us all in the hotel?
Yes. So I could speak to everyone at once.
I'll get the others.
Thank you, Alexis.
And she just like drops the sticks and leaves.
Should I assume that the authorities have finally arrived?
On their way.
On their way.
Just so you all know, Gordy's in the middle of giving a haircut, so it'll be a little while.
On their way. That's lovely.
A
Well,
cab.
I suppose I shall go back to the hotel to keep watch over this poor girl and make
Hold
sure
on.
that no one.
Hold on. I know what ACAB stands for, but right now it's all cops or barbers. Sorry.
Both things can be true.
Oh Lord, barbers. His name Floyd.
Sorry.
That's right. I'm going to make my way back to the hotel now and try to, I don't know, figure things out and make sure nothing happens and disturbs the girl. I don't know where Moss is. Perhaps that's a good thing. So I'm not sure how I would react at the moment.
Speaking of Moss, you see Alexis go to the couple that's fighting, and she just says Maddie's gone or Maddie's dead, and they just stop fighting and go towards the hotel.
How far away from the fire?
I'm gonna say like 20 feet. I don't know.
That's a good distance. I'll just look at Alexis and say, nobody gets out alive, and try to throw the man to the ground as I follow. That's why I asked how close you were to the fire, not throwing him in the fire. But just grabbing him and throwing him and then following them.
You know what? You're somehow able to grab him and throw him really far. Like this is a big, beefy football player type guy, and you're able to throw him like he's getting pretty close and hit the ground really hard.
Knew those muscles were for show. No fat on top of them. Turn and follow. Like literally just throw him and turn my back.
But when you do make it to the hotel, the students are just all sitting there in seats.
No one's moving?
No.
This should be less comforting than it is. Are the other two around anywhere?
I'm pretty sure Jody's at the church. Is Simon there?
He should be making his way back there about the same time.
So that sounds like maybe Simon's there a little after. So we'll just say, y'all know why y'all are here?
Wow.
No answer.
Walk up to one of them, look to see if there's a needle dangling from their arm.
Is he looking at all of them or just a particular?
No one in particular, though B is definitely taking note of where Stanza is going. But just looking at one of them as a sample.
No needles in their arms.
Like, do they like crouch over and like horizontal face close to their face to see if there's any weirdness going on?
There is weirdness. They are not breathing.
And to the throat, to the jugular, carotid, I guess.
There is it's weird. There is it's all the same pulse.
It's like I check a couple of people and they're on the exact same rhythm. I mean, and this might actually be when Simon gets her, because Simon said he was arriving about the same time. But so I guess you see Moss just bent over one of these motionless students with a finger in their face, saying, "Now that shouldn't be possible."
What? What should not be possible?
Oh, you.
Yes, me. What have you done now?
Just like look at it, give him a good long look. Forget it. Turn and start walking away.
just walk away. You simply. And he's going to kind of count, see how many actual kids are there this time.
They're all there. Your missing staff members are there too.
Thank you, everyone, for coming back. I'm assuming there's like no reaction to anything going on.
Nope.
I am sorry to say there has been, well, we've had a tragic accident. Unfortunately. Are you all listening?
Over my shoulder. No!
Kind of unconsciously mimicking Moss, kind of, get close, kind of do this thing. What? What the devil is going on here? Hello? Does it look like, I don't know, they're all on drugs or something that I don't know about? I'm
But
just
they're just sitting there.
everybody like stoned out of their heads?
No, they're just
Moss
sitting there.
will stop and turn and quote a poem of stanzas about what happens when someone is both living and dead.
You really think that's the appropriate time for poetry?
Times seem poetic, Professor.
Professor. Poetic. What is going on here?
Smarties has melting.
I have no idea, but it appears to not just be a trip, if you're experiencing it.
What
What did you do this time, Doc?
It's like they're all asleep.
No, it's like they're all dead and yet have pulses.
That's illogical at best.
As I said.
Poke whoever's nearest, kind of, poke him in the cheek, see if you can't get a reaction.
Is Simon poking stanza?
Yeah.
Whoever's closest.
Will rush towards you at that point, dropping the stash, and just full body shove you. You don't touch her! It's like, it breaks the loss of ego at Maddie's death.
What the blazes is wrong with you?
You don't touch her.
Are you on some trip of some, I don't know.
Of course I am. You still don't touch her.
I'm trying to wake her up, you fool.
Reaches over and pokes his face exactly like he was poking her face. Are you awake?
That's going to get your finger grabbed.
And where my little temper for homeless person is, that's going to get you a fist in the face.
Well, my temper for librarian. Janie, how do you want to handle
Temper
that?
5 creature is happy as a clam.
This is sounding like combat.
Hold it. So we basically made the angriest group of people ever. Okay.
Each other.
Temper is not Bo's highest stat.
It's among Jody's.
How about we take a break right now? Can we? Wait, did I forget to ask that? Because figure out.
For the record, Moss's highest stat is impatience. So yeah.
Jody's highest stat is a 3-way tie, so...
Let's see what Jody's highest stat is. Wait, I'm trying to do more than one thing at a time, and it's breaking my brain. Okay, come on, show up for me, card. I'm not finding your card, Jody, for some reason.
Oh.
I know.
Jody's got 3 5s and 3 1s, so very,
Yeah, min-maxer.
there were certain things that seemed appropriate to the character.
Now I
I'll
want to
send
read an
you a
article
copy
about
of it.
min-maxing Lucas.
Because I want to just have you do contested roles against each other.
Oh, that's easy then. I'm not even there.
Yeah. Did you also say you wanted to take a break, Janie?
Jody, I'm sorry. Yeah, and I forgot to ask. So I need to do that. I'm sorry, my ADHD is completely unmedicated right now, so
Mine too.
it's everywhere. Oh my god. Simon, what are your? It's Simon versus Moss.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so you two will need to roll your. I want to say temper and frailty.
Who's rolling which?
You're both rolling them against each other.
Oh, so I should make 2 rolls then.
Yeah.
And what difficulty?
Hard because I'm evil.
See, both of them are 2s, and it's over beats. So frailty succeeds, temper or fails.
Same.
I get the not frail result, and I get the
Oh, yeah,
temper result.
I succeeded on frailty, failed on temper.
So the opposite.
No, we got the same roll. It sounds like.
Okay. So I want to say this is a really, really kind of angry fight between the two of you, and you both want to get injured. So, got to figure these injuries out.
While you're doing that, I'll say that at some point, because it sounds like it's a long fight, since we both got the not frail result.
Right.
So at some point, Moss starts yelling things like, "This is for that. This is for that car payment. And this is for fucking the literary editor," and just like starts accusing you of all the things that B did.
Okay.
You have no idea of the context of what Moss is yelling, but is accusing you of all of these things. You might be able to get the idea that it's accusing you of treating a loved one wrong. You definitely get the idea that there is like stealing of money and tanking of reputation, and possibly ruining of career.
Okay.
And then it eventually trails off into a litany of things like, "This is for being a better poet than me. This is for," and now all of a sudden you're not necessarily a projection of himself. This is for being more out of the closet than me. This is for, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Man, if I had taken a psychology professor instead. In contrast, actually, Simon is all but silent. He does not say anything. It is very focused, and it is very driven. Like, this is a goal, and there is no... I mean, he's obviously angry. red faced and, eyes kind of wide with the narrow pupils, but he's not saying anything. It's just, a grunt of exertion, a kind of oof. He takes a hit, something along those lines, but there is not accusing, not saying anything. He has gone basically silent as he is doing this.
You're muted, Janie.
I know. I don't know, but until you told me, I knew. So thank you. I said I want to do one more thing with the fight, and then I'll figure out the injuries while we're on break. I'm going to say when you two finally stop. Do you know? Remember the couple that was fighting?
Of course, I remember the couple that was fighting. My ex was one of them.
Yeah, they're fighting again, and it turns out that the third person in their little love triangle was Maddie.
That probably means that Moss is at some point going to try to throw Simon into either one of the two that is not Stanza.
Okay, that is good to know. And I'm going to just swing over to Jody real quick, where this really strange church service is happening, where the students are in the pews. The students that are being weird in the hotel, and they are doing some kind of ritual. Jody, are you helping with this ritual?
Of course I am.
Okay.
In fact, there's a moment when Jody comes up, steps to the altar and kisses the top of it, and then starts speaking in the language that I haven't identified yet, but is ancient Sumerian.
Vidingirana Kampa. Sorry. You mentioned a language that I have some slight familiarity.
I was going to say, if anyone knows it, it's we know who it would be.
Every time I need Jody to chant it, I'll just point to you.
Takamanin Shubur.
So I need to figure out if this is. I'm going to make you roll for something because I really want you to roll for something. So it's good. I'd have to be ignorance, I guess. No, wait. Yeah, why not ignorance?
Okay. Would this fall under knowledge religion?
Yeah, I know it's a skill that you have knowledge in. You just
Yes.
said
So difficulty?
hard.
We're good?
Okay. So little fires pop up around the town, like where the little piles of wood were from the bonfire and people carrying the wood back and forth. Those all ignite. So there's more smoke and the smell of wood burning in the air. And the town it was foggy. Now it's overcast and foggy. So good job, Jody. You did it. Oh, or maybe. Um, so I know my two fighters aren't noticing that right just this moment.
Not so
Not,
much.
yeah, not unless there's one nearby.
It's like really close.
Within range of a thrown body or so.
Would this be the type of storm that might have like dry thunder attached to it?
Yes.
That might break them out of it.
Yeah, it's a really loud sound of dry thunder. Sounds like it's right on top of the building.
It becomes a thing that Moss is reacting to. As if it is, I will say, above the table. As if it is Stanza in one of the old fights. Moss is replying back. And so you're hearing one half of a lover's quarrel, with the other half being the dry thunder. As Moss is continuing to try to beat you.
Poor Simon. Well, not really, but um, I'm sorry, just trying to figure out what will break the fight up.
I want to say that eventually Simon is just like all these things that Moss is saying, and eventually it's just like none of this makes any sense. Like this is just bizarro world, and he is just going to try to shove Moss away and step back. Like it's not.
Just stands there like glaring at you.
I don't know what the hell your problem is.
Big sigh, close the eyes, shake out the hair, looks down, like eyes still closed, looks down. You see the posture change and the smile kind of creep across the face. And look up says, "There's nothing wrong with me. What's wrong with you?"
Going to ignore Moss and look back. Have the students moved at all? Did anything happen
Yeah.
with them?
Yeah, there was the couple that was fighting, and the other ones are just around the room doing different things. Some are reading, some are talking. The one fighting couple is still really, really angry at each other. One of the students is like wadding up paper, throwing it at random people, just being weird students.
This makes sense. Nothing here makes sense.
And that's unusual, how?
Go to hell. And he just walks.
Yeah.
I think it's break time, yeah.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Autumn, where a wonderful bus full of cheerful and wholesome college students and their professors and their fun-loving bus driver take a nice trip side and end up. They had a little mishap with the bus. Ended up in a small town during this really charming autumn festival, where they're having cider and around a bonfire.
And lots of drugs.
You're welcome.
I was trying to make it sound wholesome, but yeah.
That's not wholesome?
Excuse, drugs are so wholesome.
Some of my most wholesome moments have been on drugs, y'all.
Okay.
Not my character, me.
So, and where we left off, two of our lovely characters, the wonderful, down to earth, really, really kind Moss, and the wonderful, wise, and studious, the librarian of our bunch, Simon. They had a nice discussion over while using their fists and throwing each other and hitting and kicking and causing injury. And our lovely, lovely, good religious man, Jody, he went to it. He decided that this was the time to go to church. And he went into the church and he decided that it was time to speak in a ancient language and light some fires and do some rituals. And now it looks like the world is ending outside. Is that correct?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, sounds accurate to me.
And as the smoke starts to rise and the cloud of ash starts to go over the town, I'm going to say a car crashes into, a car crashes into the church. And it stops. The church is basically ruined right now, but it's already served its purpose because the world is ending.
Would you like me to make a clumsiness test?
Yes, I would love
Okay.
to do a clumsiness test.
What difficulty?
This is going to be hard for you, brother Jody. It's kind of
Fair
hard
enough.
to avoid R.
Fair. I will have a plus for the cane.
Okay.
And I will still fail it handily.
And that car will hit you. Like right before it stops, it hits you and kind of knocks you to the side.
Shall I be taking an injury then?
Yes, you will take a major injury. Because that's what happens when a car.
Got it. And even as the car plows into Jody, he has a smile of ecstasy on his face.
I'm going to say I'm just going to re-injure his already injured leg. Any reactions to the sound of I think it's a truck hitting a building. I want to double check. Yeah, it is a red lifted Super Duty truck.
You sure that's not grievous injury?
Yeah.
Okay.
You literally got hit by a truck, Jody.
I literally want this man to die, so I am okay with taking a grievous injury if I have to.
No, it hit the building. It kind of destroyed the building and
Ah.
I mean, if he had been like in front, it would have been grievous. But
Fair enough.
I mean, walls do tend to slow things down,
just a
It's almost
little.
like that's half their job.
right? So Simon, he basically stormed out of the hotel and into this apocalypse-looking whatever the heck is going on. And for a moment, yeah, he just kind of walks out and is like, "What?" There's suddenly this booming storm and fires everywhere, and he cannot process everything. And then I imagine there's this, horrific crash sounding from over there as, this truck plows into the building that kind of shakes him out of it for a second. And he still kind of looks shocked a little bit, but he's going to hurry in that direction, see what happened, and,
Moss is gonna stare at Stanza for a little bit as she's fighting with the man, and then eventually walk up to Stanza and sort of, ignoring the fact that they're in a fight, reach out and sort of cup the side of Stanza's face and just say, "Stanza, you..." And then there's a crash from outside, just for the melodrama, and we'll just do that little like straightening of the posture and walk to the door and watch Simon running, watching to see if Simon is showing any emotion.
From what you could, I don't know that you could tell much from that kind of angle, but he definitely seems agitated.
Roll my eyes and just sort of walk, not in a hurry, behind Simon as he runs. Looking over the shoulder one last time at the hotel.
So, when you get to the wreckage, you do see some students kind of scattered because, the truck hit the building. And you see Jody tossed to the side and this big old truck that's now wrecked.
Probably the first thing he would do would be go towards the truck, see, person in there. I assume Jody is still moving. At least, doesn't look dead at this moment, right?
Yeah.
Barely conscious, but not dead.
Yeah. Simon's going to rush over to the truck. Are you okay in that?
There is no answer. There's no the person inside of it. You could see like bleeding from the forehead, and the person is a guy dressed, I think, like in a plaid. I don't know what he's wearing, but he's got long red hair, the same color as Sheila's hair color.
Jody, are you all right?
The pain will pass.
Pain will pass, you silly bugger. It looks like it. Oh, God. Your leg does not look like it's at the right angle. Is anybody else hurt?
Several of those students are not moving, that are scattered.
What's happening? What is happening here? It's like everything's gone crazy.
You silly, silly son of a bitch. Everything's going right for once.
You say that. Half the bloody town is on fire.
Jody's just laughing.
Moss will walk up, hear the laughter, walk over to Jody, squat next to Jody, grab a stick or something, some debris, and just poke the broken leg to make Jody stop laughing.
I'll make myself make a frailty test. You are going to have to poke very hard.
Pokes pretty hard, and then turns to Jody, says, "What do you want? You, not your god."
What do I want? I want this.
What was it you said earlier? The fact that you don't want it to happen is what tells you it needed to happen.
And
And I
this.
walk. Good.
And this needs to happen.
Lean forward, put my finger in his face. But you want it. And turn and start splinting up his leg.
He won't do anything to stop you.
I don't understand what either of you are saying. Not making any sense.
Simon, you do hear some screams from inside the church asking for help.
He'll go towards it.
You have. There are 2 students like trapped in a window or something trying to get out. And it looks like some flames are looking at some of the boards outside of the window.
I feel like I need to make. Oh, is it cowardice or is it? Oh, yeah, it's cowardice. And that's a complete fail.
Sorry, I'm laughing.
So he starts going towards this, and then you see the flames, the cart starting to come up the boards and such, and it's getting close to them, and he stops and he's just kind of staring, not at the students anymore. He's staring at these licking flames, and he seems frozen.
You hear Alexis like screaming for you as the flames grow.
And he's
How, really quick question. How close to Jody is Simon?
I mean, I don't think the church is that big, is it?
No.
So, I
It's a
mean, not that far.
I think Jody might actually reach out with his cane, like tap the back of Simon's leg, like as hard as he can, like pushing him forward.
Let's say I will say that will give me. I will spend based on that. I will spend willpower to reroll that. I'm gonna reroll 2 dice. So nope, that's still a failure. So despite that push, Simon kind of stumbles. He glances around real quick, but then he looks back up, shakes his head, and turns and it's almost like he's running away from what he just saw.
He can still hear the screams.
And he's just kind of doing this as he is kind of trying to get outside the building.
You'll hear Moss yell after you. Ah, there you are.
No response to that.
Eventually, the screams will fade. Just begging you to help. Especially the voice of an NPC that I made sure that you would know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he has gotten out of the building and probably leaning against a wall a ways away, just kind of forehead against the wall, kind of clutching at his head.
And you know what? I think Gordy should finish his haircut by now. Pretending his badge to like taking he's walking out of the building, takes off the barber's apron and pins a police badge.
All cops are barbers.
That means that all barbers are bad?
Well, I mean, you didn't see what the haircut looked like. I think he just does the bowl cut.
That's pretty bad.
Maybe I'm asking this question the wrong way, Preacher Man. What don't you want? What needs to happen?
I'm not sure I get your meaning.
Said it yourself. You don't want it to happen. That means it needed to happen. Don't care what you want to happen. Care what needs to happen.
What needs to happen is that sacrifices must be made.
And you don't want that.
It is true I did not want it to be my time. But I am willing, as I see it is necessary.
Yeah, we've all heard the Gary Newman song. I don't believe you.
I don't need your belief.
You need my protection.
He will slowly stand up and as much weight as he is putting on the right leg, it looks like it is well and truly fractured.
It's also splinted. I can
Yeah.
make a roll if you like.
No, that's fine. All that I need from you is for you to go through this night.
You're not paying attention, preacher man. I do think I figured out the difference between you and me. A night full of noticing uncomfortable similarities. I think I finally figured out the difference.
And what is that?
You think you matter.
I don't think he has a response for that.
And Moss is just going to say, I mean, that's a good time to cut the Simon, if I may say. But Moss is just going to, like, watch.
Because Simon, you just the church got a little hot. I don't know what you're doing other than being a little stressed out about it.
No stress, slow down.
You should probably.
That is a good point. Was the cowardice roll a stress check?
I mean, it would make sense.
I think we need to do another stress check because this is a kind of stressful situation. No, seeing what you saw, or not seeing, but
Yeah.
and this is hard again.
What attribute?
I would say. Right. Come on, where are you? Read. No. This wouldn't be cowardice because you've already done that. I guess carelessness.
Okay.
No.
Carelessness or impatience, I could see.
Yeah, maybe impatience.
Okay. Oh, wow, that's actually a pass. No, yeah, we said impatience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 6, 5, and 4. That passes.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So you
I have
do.
not tipped over the edge yet.
No, not yet. No, because this is all kind of. I want to say you've probably done enough reading and research. You realize that there is something going on here. The logic's not logicking.
There has to be a reason. This. There's got to be something going on here. He's kind of sitting on the sidewalk at this point, like back up against a building, looking around at all this craziness.
Well, you do see Gordy with some buckets of water trying to put the fire out. I'm sure there's people helping. It's just
he just watches that for a minute, like so useless, like just they're worthless, like they just. I need to understand. And he's going to walk back towards the church. And is Jody and Ma still there?
Fixing to get out of there, but not having left yet.
And Moss has decided of pure spite that he's going to be following Jody around and preventing Jody from being a sacrifice.
You know what's going on here, don't you?
I know enough.
And explain it.
Explain it. My dear boy. Ain't you never heard of faith?
Faith. Faith in what?
Faith in the most beautiful harmonies of nature itself.
Should have figured. None of your verses and gospels and teachings, none of them make any sense. Why should I expect you to make sense now? In the middle of this lunacy. You make as much sense as any of this illogical chaos.
Brother Simon, Sibling Moss, the night has just begun.
What's your point?
We'll get there.
There's that whole thinking you matter thing again.
Obviously, you seem to think I do.
No, you just can't get rid of me.
You suppose I want to?
I like tearing down people who think they're better than me.
You think that I think I'm better than either of you?
Oh, you do. You absolutely do. Basically the
No.
hallmark of every religion ever.
No. I'm just one step closer to the grave.
Nice.
Put on the ground, repeat, no one gets out alive.
Only you knew how true that was.
Bitch, I've been homeless. You know how many people I've seen die?
Imagine a great many.
Don't mean nothing.
Were you supposed to be their shepherd?
Shepherded a couple. Like Maddie.
Yes. Fine job you did with that one.
I'll just worm food in the end.
I think the camera goes to the students. They're being pulled out of the church that Simon did not help. When you say that they're just worm food. You just see the students just kind of laying there, and then it goes back to you all.
I think your fatalism is almost as bad as his zealotry.
The only difference between us, near as I can see, is that I know I don't matter. He's deluded enough to think he does.
So I'm going to say Sheila, because that's the only one you all haven't killed yet. Oh wait, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry, Sheila, who was uninjured and unkilled.
That hit me right in the Catholic guilt, you know? Right in the Catholic guilt.
Rushes out and to where you all are. It says, "We need to get someplace. We need to get your leg looked at, and we need to get this whoever this is. If she's got the person that was in the car, and it's like trying to drag them inside or somewhere and undercover. There's ash everywhere. Can one of you help me? I don't know if I can carry this person."
Yeah.
Moss will shake Bo's head and then go over there and pick up one side of the person.
To take them back to the hotel. At least the beds there that you can lay them in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The church, it burned.
So it did.
Brother Jody, your leg.
D.
You're gonna have to stay off of that, aren't you?
Got my cane, I'll be fine.
I don't think I can carry you too. Can you walk?
Sister Sheila, I would never ask you to bear more than you need to bear.
Well, it's might be time to let somebody help you a little.
Hmm. Now, question. Do we want to do the ignorance check for Moss on the splinting of the leg?
I'm
Yes.
happy to do so.
Yes.
What is...
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm talking over you, Jenny. Apologies.
Okay, sorry. It's a medium though, because I know Moss has.
Yeah, I was about to ask, well, what a trained skill does, because Moss has street medic.
So if you have trained, then you don't have to make the ignorance check at all. You can just straight roll.
Oh, that's right. Because if it's untrained, then you need to make an ignorance check just to be able to make the whatever other check.
Correct.
So I don't have to make the initial ignorance check, but I have to make the second, the whatever check, which is...
Right. Whether it be, I mean, if it was me, I would say like clumsiness.
I was going to say carelessness.
or carelessness. I think either one of them could apply just fine.
Janie?
Carelessness.
Carelessness? Okay. And medium, you said?
Yes.
Or is it going to be... Okay. Let me get back to my die roller. Whew. 6, 6, 3.
Ooh.
That is a full success
Nice.
on ignorance 4.
So, Jody's leg being splinted and
Or sorry,
having...
carelessness 4. Sorry.
Do what?
Go ahead.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Jody's leg being splinted. I could make a frailty check if you'd like me to.
Yes, please. The splinting is so good I can't make it a hard one, so it's gonna have to be medium.
Okay. Yep. He is able to walk on his own locomotion.
Okay, so you all can make it to the hotel. You're down to I guess there's only 3 college students left. The fighting couple and Sheila. Um, and all of you with your unconscious truck driver.
So Simon did not follow the others.
Okay. Where's Simon?
Simon is still standing in front of the church.
Okay. Well, everyone but Simon then. And Simon's standing in front of the burning remains of the church, where there's just mostly silence and maybe people splashing water occasionally. Screams have long since faded.
I assume the bonfire's still there.
Yeah.
It's going to stand there for a long moment after the others have kind of disappeared. Just looking at the fire. And eventually, he just kind of silently reaches down and picks up the end of like a, stick, log, whatever. That one end is burning. And then he's going to go into the church and make sure everything in there burns.
I love it. That's perfect. That's a good ending point. Just the church is Simon going to leave the church after he sets it ablaze?
Yes.
Okay.
He'll walk back out, kind of
So
drop his stick as he steps out of it and just walks away.
the ending point is going to be Simon's silhouette in front of the blazing church. And you know what? There's a cross on the top and it just falls burning. It's lots of flames and the atmosphere that's, all ash and soot and the outlines of other buildings in the town burning. That's where we're going to end.
Love it.
That was your September episode of Autumn.
Our first autumn episode of Autumn.
Yes.
That's a good point.
Autumn starts September 21st, but it is September. Our next episode will be in October. And I think that
Right.
one the title for that one is going to be, because I have titles for all of these episodes already planned out, because I had a lot of fun coming up with this stuff. Well, I had it, and of course, I'm unorganized, and this one was called. What was this episode called again? The Harvest.
The Harvest Moon.
The Harvest Moon.
Isn't that a video game?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But I don't think this is what happens in a video game.
I think it's very different, though.
I'm not so sure.
Kind of similar in some regards.
Good. The next episode is the Reaping.
Is that reading or reaping?
Reaping. REAPING.
Well,
That's
that's
not ominous at all.
And we're going to do our outros, and after that, we are going to rate Neon Light. So please stick around, because that is an awesome channel. Let's start with you. I'm not pointing at anybody because I'm just making one of you choose amongst yourselves. Come on, I'm waiting for you. Let's go.
All right. Well, as I said before, my name is Sean. Also go by Rise, RIZE, and Raven Black Photography. That's kind of my side gig. Let's see. Most often I show up on Lost Caravan, but I'm also doing some stuff with Nerds with Dice. Actually, that's Friday. Was our next episode, our Iron Sworn campaign, helmed by my wonderful friend Sin over here, and that is going to be awesome. So definitely show up for that. It's a lot of fun, and it's absolutely kind of bonkers. There's literally an eyeball hovering in the sky at the moment, and we don't know what that is. Other than that, I think, there is. So if you are interested, I am starting at the end of October. I am going to be running looks like a 6-part Old Gods of Appalachia mini campaign over on Lost Caravan. There is a sign up sheet over on our Discord at Lost Caravan RPG. And I got some things planned, and it's gonna be a thing. So would love to see people show up and sign up for that. Always love to see new faces. Other than that, I will throw it over to you.
Yeah, you.
Okay, I once had a friend who had a very mystical experience with a tree, and then at the next dinner circle at the gathering announced that their new name was You, and then everyone laughed.
Like YEW?
Was what he was thinking, because it was a yew tree that he had the experience of. But he wasn't spelling it, he was saying it.
Okay, that's awesome.
So with that little snippet from my weird life, hi everybody! As I said earlier, I have 18 names. You'll hear a different one each and every single time. One of them is Skunk Heart, and I use 3 different sets of pronouns. As you can see on the overlay, one of them is B Bimbos, but another one of them is EM Airs. I am a professional dungeon master, TTRPG content creator, etc., etc., etc. You can find me on all of the socials under different names. I'm Skunkheart on Blue Sky. I'm Bimbo Magic Sasquatch Style on Instagram, etc., etc., etc. If you want to find them all, go to linktr.ee/queer mythopoeia. QUEERMYTHOPOEIA. And unusually, I don't have too many announcements, other than I have poetry getting published soon. And because the biggest thing in my life is that by the time we have our next episode, I will have a child. Because a chosen family member of mine will be giving birth. So, if you see me being particularly harried next episode, that's why.
I do have to go back to one thing you said there. Did you say Bimbo Magic Sasquatch style?
Bimbo Magic Sasquatch style.
That is a
You may-
string of words in one thing that I would never have imagined hearing. Just so you know.
I will mention that another of my names is Merlin Monroe.
I think that puts it on me.
Yeah.
Hello. I am Sin, Synthetic 20 on all the social media that matters. Or if you want to follow me on Twitch or Twitter, it's asynthetic 20 there. I have a lot of things. I am in the middle of what is looking to be 6 RPG streams in 8 days. Which tomorrow I am going to be playing Big Strong Girl in our gay camp escapade that somebody has told us is going to turn into a slasher eventually. I still don't believe it. I'm going to gaslight myself until it actually happens. And then on Friday, I will be directing Rise and several other players through Iron Sworn. I can tell you I actually have the name of that episode decided. It is Hope Reborn. So look forward to that. And then on Saturday, I'm going to be playing a FIM Space Marine in our Warhammer 40k game over on Lost Caravan. And then the other one I don't have the details of yet, but follow me on social media and I will give the details once I have them. I also am going to be in a mass game come next month over on Nerds with Dice. And I at last have a 50,000 word supplement that I wrote that will be coming out on October 17th. It was started before the OGL debacle, so we're going to figure out what's next after this project gets out the door.
It's like so many other things right now.
Right, yeah, exactly. But I'm also working on my own system, so if you want updates on that type of stuff, then follow me on the socials and be along for this wild ride. That's all I've got.
Remember, kids, self-gaslighting is the safest form of gaslighting.
So that makes it my turn. This is the game that I'm running now on this channel. And
This time in this place.
yeah. Second Monday of every month until the game is over, which is December, I think. Or
Let's see, because we've got this is episode 2.
That would be 5 episodes.
October, November, December. Yeah.
it should be over in December, which is right before the season of autumn actually ends, which is December 21st because it goes to winter. I didn't plan that at all.
No plans.
No, of course not. That's assuming we all survive that long. I am not sure I see it happening.
Yeah, you think so? You think you win if you survive? Y'all are funny.
For a long enough time span, no one survives anything.
That's cute. On this channel, I have Henshin coming up on the day that it's on. I swear I wrote it down. I think it's Wednesday. King's Gambit on I have all of these dates written down, and I completely forgot what they are. This is how my brain works when it's not medicated. I am sorry. I blame the pharmaceutical companies, and that would be a nice long rant. But I do have stuff coming up, especially on this channel and on other channels. Okay, I've got King's Gambit on the 30th of September. That's on this channel around afternoon time. I've got Breaking Neon also on this channel. I've got, I already said Henshin, and I have Cold Hands on Neon Lights roleplay, and I've got a couple other things coming up. And I have other stuff in the pipeline because my brain is always working, and I've got so many ideas. And I'm going to stop rambling now so we can rate Neon Lights, and I will see you all very soon. Did I pause it all? Did I just keep going?